Good morning, sunshines and beautiful people out there.
Yeah.
Welcome to your daily dose of positivity and inspiration. Wake Up Nigeria.
So some call it the numero uno show. Some call it the primus inter pares, right?
Okay.
Some, but we know it's the first among equals.
Absolutely. Here we call it Wake Up Nigeria, as do you. Thank you very much. Yes, we're here to kickstart your day with us. Plus of energy and also a sprinkle of joy as we end the month of November. Can you believe it? It is going to be December tomorrow.
Whoop, whoop. Honestly,
Are we happy?
December is already here. Well, everyone wants to get paid so they can start shopping for Christmas.
I know, right?
Yep. And for those that started shopping for Christmas at the beginning of November, yeah, I give you a hand. I doff my hat. Our job every single day is to inspire you to embrace your everyday wins. And remember, success is not just in the big accomplishments, but also the small victories.
Exactly. Celebrate those victories because they come together to give you a very, very wholesome sense of self.
Yeah.
Whether you're conquering mountains or just getting out of bed, hey, celebrate it. We're here anyhow to celebrate every single achievement, big or small, that you achieve.
And we actually love to celebrate with you as well. We'll tell you a bit about that later on. And for those who enjoy a sort of gentler start to the day, fear not. We have some soothing segments lined up just for you as well.
Well, absolutely, people. It's a great morning, of course, one with grace. Now, as we continue this morning's journey, let's transition into, well, what we call the happy moments for Thursday every single time. And it's that time when you take a look at yourself and you say, I am ready for this day.
Yeah.
And it starts with you. Believe it. That's all.
Mazino is on a very, honestly, whatever you drank this morning, I need some.
It's your coffee.
Oh, really? It is?
You have
Okay,
plenty.
okay. All right. No, Allah. So we are definitely anticipating deliciousness in the kitchen today. Make sure you stay for those mouth-watering moments. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. You can catch the show live on GOTV. It's channel 16 on there. And of course, 49 UHF 121 on StarTimes.
If you like to stream shows, one you can stream is this one on our website. tvcentertainment.tv is the site you need to check out. Then, of course, we're on YouTube and Facebook at TVC Connect.
Download the app so you can see it. iOS or Google Play Store, it is available. This allows you to carry us with you any place that you might be traveling to, even if it's outside of Nigeria. Let's tell them about what's coming up for the show today.
So you know Thursdays are all artsy, all colorful. Obikoya Olukayode Emmanuel is a practicing studio artist, a multimedia sculptor, someone who's been able to combine various materials together. You know, he has a special interest in wood, bronze, sculptures, and so much more. It's going to be a really great opportunity to, pick his brain. We're going to be having a conversation with him.
And on your screen right now, what you're looking at are the artworks of an individual called T-Boy. Now, these are little pieces from T-Boy Gillies. He does auto gillies, one of those things that you ladies have found convenience in. Just pick it up, put it on, and go. Well, he's going to be joining us. We'll be talking about his art sometime before the end of the show. Push your mic, it doesn't want to be found dead in. Good time you here,
Mike wasn't alert until now.
Mike, are you saying that I can't walk down the street with my hands over your shoulder? No, but
Mike, stop.
Benny, move forward.
No,
what kind of friends do you have?
No, Benny. Come on.
Okay, wait. During a football match, when you're taking the first photo with all your teammates, right?
on
Don't
shoulders.
you put your hands on shoulders?
Ask the bros. You feel like that. When you walk on the streets with the bros like
How
that.
about after a goal?
After a goal, after scoring a
When
goal.
you guys hug each other and
Yes,
everything?
now.
See, it's momentarily.
But what does it feel
And
like?
then you
What does it feel-
disengage.
What does
So
it
wait, how many Mississippis? So is it like
one Mississippi, two Mississippi? Too much.
You don't have to count Mississippi, no. Too many syllables. Miss is okay.
But I tell you what, see, this is what we're always talking about men. We're a bit too restrictive with our emotions and expressions
Yes,
of these
yes, we
emotions.
are.
I think we should be a bit more. Forget
Not
all
only me,
the...
but for a lot of guys, it's so good. Don't let me.
Forget all the, what people say. Just be human. I think we need it emotionally.
Yeah.
I just saw this. It was a very, very short clip yesterday.
One Mississippi. Two
You have plenty Mississippi.
I can't even pronounce the word anymore.
I saw this guy. I was talking to, I think, a friend, and says, "I love you very much." And it was a man like, because you've taught me how to be a better father. You've taught me how to be a better husband. So he was talking to his friend.
Yeah.
His friend has influenced his life. And then he was giving him all the verbal affirmations, as it were. It was a bit, but it's necessary if we men can get
express.
appreciation to each other like that.
I have such a friend whom I always tell, hey, dude, we're almost brothers. I find myself expressing, and I see nothing wrong in that.
But you won't say exactly what you said.
No, I can't.
Can't say. You see, that's the problem.
You'd only have to jump into my WhatsApp messages to find out, but it's absolutely pure. Anyhow, let's do the weather today and find out what Thursday is going to be like.
Good morning. The news on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm Mike Mesikeno. President Bola Tinubu expressed his desire that the 2024 Appropriation Act comes into effect on the 1st of January next year. The president, who addressed a joint session of the National Assembly, asks both chambers to conclude with reasonable dispatch their deliberations on the budget estimates of 27.5 trillion naira. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
This is President Bola Tinubu's maiden budget presentation to the National Assembly. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, sets the ball rolling with his welcome remarks. He applauds the giant strides of Mr. President in the past months and promises a robust executive-legislature relationship without compromising the doctrine of separation of powers.
We will certainly conduct a very thorough and meticulous review of the estimates we are about to present to us. I would also like to express our gratitude to Mr. President for his tireless efforts in driving economic growth, promoting social welfare, and enhancing the security of our dear nation.
President Bola Tinubu took the legislators through government's projections in the coming year. Non-debt expenditure 2 trillion naira, debt servicing at 8.25 trillion naira, capital expenditure of 8.7 trillion naira, and a revenue projection of 9.1 trillion naira.
Despite the
Now, the Supreme Court has stated that old and new 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes will coexist as legal tender until further notice. You'll recall that on the 3rd of March this year, the Apex Court extended the deadline to phase out old naira notes to the 31st of December. Shortly after that judgment, the federal government filed an application before the Supreme Court seeking an extension for old notes to remain in circulation. The federal government has explained that the country stands the risk of descending into another national economic and financial crisis if the Supreme Court declines the request, which has now been granted. A former Minister of State for Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, has told the Federal High Court in Abuja how the inability of a defunct commercial bank to handle huge amounts of money prompted the airlifting of about 1.219 billion naira cash to former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose for governorship election in the state. Senator Obanikoro testified before Justice Nnamdi Dingba in the 6.9 billion naira money laundering suit brought against Mr. Fayose and his firm, Spotless Investments Limited, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. He told the court how the cash was airlifted from Lagos in 2 aircrafts. Asked by the prosecution counsel, Wahab Shitu, to shed light on the source of the said 1.219 billion, Mr. Obanikoro replied that he did not know the source of the money. He added that he only got the information on the money from the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, saying that it was the former NSA who told him that the said money had been paid into the account of Sylvian McNamara Limited. Now let's move on to health matters. About 5 wards with at least 150 beds have been shut down by the management of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital due to lack of doctors and nurses to manage them. The chairman of the health committee of the House of Reps, Dr. Amos Magaji, spoke to journalists during the committee's oversight visit to the tertiary hospital. Dr. Magaji attributed the situation to the impact of a huge challenge being posed by brain drain, now popularly coined the Japa syndrome, which is ceaselessly fueling the loss of medical personnel across public and private health institutions in Nigeria. The Chief Medical Director of LUTH, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, on his part, is appealing to well-meaning Nigerians to support the institution in its core interest of delivering quality healthcare services to the people.
You're welcome. It's time for What's Up and About. Lady and gentlemen, you guys are welcome.
Yeah.
Mike, we had this conversation before.
Okay.
I'll intimate you guys with it.
Yeah.
What is your position on traditional attires in corporate places, say workplaces? I mean, maybe not TV because we're allowed.
What is the traditional attire, first of
all? Let's talk about agbadas, senator suits. Even senator suits are a bit,
But you know that what you're wearing is someone else's tradition.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, what we're wearing right now is someone else's.
That's where I'm going. Yes, a bit casual, but we're all casual.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because you guys have heard that the Kenyan parliament actually have put a ban on what they call the kaunda suits, which are kind of like similar to what we call here the senator suits in our own Senate.
Yeah.
Now, they gave reasons. I listened to the entire session with the parliament member telling about the history of their parliament and how they're trying to preserve the dignity and honor of the space.
Okay.
He talked about in the past, especially since 1914, since 2014, where there were decrees or there were policies that were put in place regarding dressing. And they made it known that kaunda suits are not allowed because they become variants. They people start to, what's the word now, become lax about their dressing when you employ these kinds of dressings.
Wow.
They have a stipulation which maintains that you must be in a shirt and a tie, your shirt must be collared, you must have a suit on, and you must wear socks. So, if you look at it, traditional wear, we don't wear socks, we don't have no provisions for ties and all of that.
So this is the traditional wear of another country.
Yes.
That if you don't wear socks, your feet will freeze.
True.
We live in Africa where socks are only just to preserve your shoes from maybe having a particular odor. You know, not because of the cold. But traditionally, if you don't wear socks in the abroad, you go freeze.
Even traditionally, we wear sandals.
Exactly. The necktie originally was a thick fabric for making sure your neck doesn't get cold.
Even when they went as far as exaggerating everything with Black Panther, they still kept the sandals.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep the sandals because it's part of... And then there are some countries that are well known for making sure that their culture is put out there, no matter what.
The Asian culture, for instance.
The Asians.
And I love the way that they dress and the way that they have employed it in every aspect of their lives.
I want to give...
Beautiful.
Well, you can't go to the Indian parliament looking...
No,
I'm not sure about that.
No, but they have their proper
wear.
fabrics.
I want to use this opportunity to...
Arabs. Oh my gosh.
This is just based on this particular instance. Please don't take me out of context or cut me somewhere. I want to give a big shout out to our former president, President Muhammadu Buhari. Why so? When you go to a meeting of the AU, or you go to a meeting of G78 or G100,
G20.
and you see all African leaders on suits, you will see President Muhammadu Buhari on his senator attire, as it were. Black all through with black cap, and he just keeps that hand. And I'm like, yes. Because if Arabs were called to a meeting with whatever country and all that, they will represent who they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so anytime I remember the last picture I ever saw of him on that kind of something, he was the only person not wearing a suit in his traditional attire.
Let me bring it back down to Nigeria. In our Senate, mostly, if not 100%, what they wear is what we've termed the senator suit.
Yeah.
And there's a certain formality that goes with it. It looks very, very formal, especially if it's well cut and not overly exaggerated with, the laborious bogosness that some people like to sew them in. And I love it. In fact, I remember many years from before I started TV, that was all I ever had in my wardrobe. And people would wonder, do you ever dress in the English attire? And I'm like, I like this. It's very cut, nicely fit.
And it's comfortable.
And it's regal.
Yeah.
And wherever you go, people are like, wait on, sir. If you went to somewhere, Mike, if you drove in, they'll tell you park outside. If I drove in, they'll say, oh, guys.
Oh, wow.
I liked it.
It's a fact. It is what it is. I would always say that, look, you don't judge people by their appearances, but you will be judged by your appearance.
Yeah.
And that appearance, I dare say, gives that air of, okay, like you said,
Respect.
it's regal, it's respect. And this is a call out for myself included, for all of us included, because we're talking about this and look at what we're wearing.
Yeah.
That's why we get to the point that a parliament would officially sit down and go think, what the...
With a tie.
Get.
Okay, so
Even as
But
Africans,
look, wait, hang on a
even
second.
as
so, but there are some,
even as Africans,
but
where
we
did
can't-
the concept of belts come in?
Okay.
Oh?
Where did the
Belt
concept
is
of
absolutely
come in?
necessary.
Because
Yeah.
we would fit our materials to our, I mean, when I would put a strip of rope inside,
rope,
we'll
yeah.
fit our materials to our
Size,
to our size.
Yeah.
And that's why of most of my pants, you see buckles and all,
At
you
the
don't,
side.
they're
The
well
belt.
fitted. You understand? And
Just want to rid yourself of extra
like
regalia.
you clearly
I get
mentioned
you.
when you spoke about the socks.
Yeah.
As Africans, weather is humid,
Yes,
the
no.
turtleneck. You see somebody wearing hot
Turtleneck in 90
hot
degree weather.
sun. You gotta put, what's this one now?
What's the
The
Head warmer.
Head warmers.
Wool, pure wool.
Well, I wear that every morning,
It's for
actually. It
cold,
preserves
it's
the
for
hair.
the cold.
For cold or
Yeah,
for
but
hair.
once it's past
There's
6 a.m., I take it out.
Exactly, there's a reason why you're doing it, but when it has become a fashion statement,
Yeah.
I feel like we all should look back at ourselves.
But there are different industries
Africans.
that require this, have always required this. For instance, in the court system.
Exactly, I was
Right?
going to go there. If you guys remember lawyer Malcolm Omirowo, I think that's his name. Last year, not long ago, last year, he attended court in his traditional herbalist regalia, saying that if the Nigerian system permits people to dress in religious attires to formal places like schools and hijabs was the reference that was used then he can also appear in his traditional regalia. I don't know about that extreme take on.
I don't even really
Is that-
think
is that
it's
extreme?
extreme. It's not really
not-
extreme.
You don't believe that it was extreme?
He was trying to make a point.
trying to
we
make a
are
point
in
by
a
exaggerating
secular
it.
state.
Yeah.
What does a secular state mean? A state that is devoid of religion when it comes to making such
Thank you.
decisions.
Now, Mike, that's where I'm going with the Kenyan system. Now, that's what they're also trying to apply and also trying to preserve the, let's say, look and feel of the House. If you look at their parliament, it's a very traditional one. It's much like the British system. You know, you've got the speakers all in a frock. They're actually wearing those every one of them. If you're going to climb the podium, you have to wear that. Now, to wear that and then look onto your members and then see them in very diverse, I think they're trying to preserve a certain sense of uniformity.
Uniformity.
Okay,
And if you give
Then-
if you give
then-
an inch, people take a foot or a mile.
mile.
So it's like, you know what? Let's just preserve this by going back to what the stipulations are. No counter suits. You must appear in whatever the policies
So
have
I
stated.
actually don't mind in terms of decency.
Oh, did I
So
forget?
in terms of decency and exposure of skin, or maintaining decorum in a particular
It
place.
wasn't restricted to just the male members.
Okay.
They also had very strict rules for the female members as well regarding religious attires inside of the parliament and length of skirts,
Of course.
and sleeveless dresses, which caused a stare when it was read
Yeah.
because they were like, maybe they might have been having plenty of that because you ladies, you like to put it above the knee. I don't know
Well,
why.
well, it depends on what some ladies are more comfortable with. You know, what they see as more flattering.
Yeah,
but if it's for indecent exposure, I completely understand. There was a time even in the universities, in fact, there's still some private universities now that have strict rules on what, they're trying to preserve the culture of the space.
I would say the Nigerian Senate is a good example when it comes to this. Maybe you should take off the outer suit, the agbada itself, and look a little bit more
the senator.
with the senator
Yeah.
and all of so that they know they're coming to work rather than they're going to an Onwambe. Because I feel like if you're going to an Onwambe and work, there should be some sort of distinction between both clothes. But Nigerian Senate on this one.
Very true.
yeah.
Why don't you guys tell us what you think? Personally, I'm all for the traditional system of dressing, even in corporate spaces. What do you think? Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let us know. We might continue this after. We'll be right back. All right. You're welcome. It's time for the kitchen segment here. And of course, this morning we're starting with our very beautiful chef, Vita, in the house. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
You're
Good
not shy, are you?
morning. No.
No, she's
I'm
not
good.
shy. Grand. I see that we have a very, very beautiful tabletop here because we have very diverse material that we're going to be using for our breakfast today. She's told me the name, and I will attempt to tell you what we're having for breakfast today. We are having, it's a wrap, yeah? Not the end of the show. It's a wrap, like your shawarma, but it's a Mexican delicacy called quesadilla.
Okay.
Quesadilla, I got that right, yeah?
Yes.
Tell us what a quesadilla is.
Okay, basically it's a Mexican wrap. It has beef in it. It's a cheesy wrap, technically. Most times it's made with corn tortilla wraps, but
Okay.
over here we have the flour wraps because that's commonly found in
Yeah.
Nigeria. Then We're also going to be having banana pancakes.
Oh.
We'll be having smoothie, about 5 fruits and yogurt. Just something healthy, a display of Nigerian and at the same time English breakfast tray.
Wow, that's a lot. So we're also having pancakes with that and also a smoothie. I can see that we have our fruits all cut out already. And we have 2 different kinds of proteins, actually, much more than that. We're going to be running the ingredients for you. Well, first off, I want you guys to take a look at what we have all in here. We've got bananas, got an apple, we've got strawberries in there, some lemon, a watermelon, actually. Pineapple are the best fruit ever.
Yes,
Love them.
it
Ananas. That's all for fruit.
Yes,
actually, tomatoes are fruits too, but then I also see that we have a certain kind of protein here and a different kind there. Is that pork?
This is bacon.
Bacon, love it. The best kind of protein ever. And this is beef?
Yes, please.
Beef.
That's
We've also got eggs,
and
that cheese and butter.
Yeah, that's
Got
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering how this is all going to come together, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It's not going to take long to put together, is it?
Nah, it's
Just in case I need to put it together for breakfast in the morning. It's something I can do.
Quickie stuff.
Okay.
Just your prep time, about 10 to 15 minutes, then you're good to go.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. So I am looking forward. Now, let's look at the menu here for everybody at home. You need some plantain flour, some baking powder, eggs, cheese, tortilla wraps, and also bell pepper, beef sausages, tomato seasoning, ketchup and oil, some butter, some fruits, like I've just mentioned. All of them, and you can see them on your screen. Greek yogurt and maple syrup. Together, this will be a very fantastic breakfast. Thank goodness I came hungry, so I will be having plenty to eat. How are we going to get started? What are we starting with?
Okay, I'm going to start with the prepping of the sauce that goes into the wrap.
So there's a sauce?
Yeah, to make the quesadilla.
What are we going to need for that sauce?
Okay, we'll be needing the butter. We're going to pan stir that with the beef.
Okay.
Then we'll come in with our bell peppers, onions, and tomato paste.
All right, okay. So that's for the sauce. For our smoothie, I'm assuming that we're using these 5 fruits.
Yes, we are.
And then there's one more thing we're supposed to make, which is the smoothie.
The
pancakes. Where's our flour?
Our flour is
We have flour under there. And are we going to be adding any flavor to that pancake? Banana pancake?
Yeah, banana pancake, then a twist of peanut
That's why
butter.
we have our bananas. Peanut butter. Oh, sounds like ice cream. Because that's how I like my ice cream, a little bit of peanut butter in it. It gives it an extra taste. Well, Chef Vina, I can't wait to see you get started. I'm here to help you as well. I'm your sous chef for the day. So let's get started already. Let me help you move away some of the things that we might not need. We're pan stirring now, yes?
Yes, we are.
We're pan stirring that now. I'm going to move our smoothie items all the way to the back.
Okay, thank you.
And have you get started. In case you're watching at home, these are stuff that you can find in your local store, so make sure that perhaps maybe it's in your fridge already. You can just simply put this together, but follow the process as we take you along, and we'll make sure that we don't leave anything out. If we do, we'll describe as the show goes on. But still, at the end of the show, you can always just check out the package on YouTube, where we put together everything that happened inside of the kitchen in one little content for you. So while we are getting started here, a lot more is happening on the show. And of course, I'm sure Titi is on standby to carry us along with what she's got for us. Titi, what's happening right now?
It's time for us to take a look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Mike Mesikeno is here with me. Let's find out what the covers look like. We have The Nation newspaper for Thursday, November 30th, 2023. Defense, education, health top Tinubu's 27.5 trillion naira budget. Human capital development, poverty reduction, infrastructure are priorities. Pension, proposed wage raise push-up, deficit to 9.1 trillion. Now, there is the sectoral allocation right there on the cover as well for defense, education, health, infrastructure, social development, poverty reduction, and so much more. A lot more information in the cover, or rather in The Nation newspaper. It also says just beneath the masthead there, JAMB releases timetable for 2024 UTME. 25 die in Kwara accident. Page 6 has more on that. Old, new Naira notes remain legal tender indefinitely. Page 5 has more on that. And 2022 floods caused $9.12 billion damage, says NBS report. I'll wrap it with this one. It says aviation units in blame game over flight diversion to Asaba. Mike.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, and people were trying to give different. Look, that is a serious issue, and in some parts of the world,
Yeah.
some heads will rule.
Yeah.
Heads will rule. It was not like we're going to, and there was an announcement of that. Okay, there's an issue with Abuja. We are going to divert to Asaba. No,
Yeah.
they say we're going to Abuja. We are now in Abuja. They landed and boom, Asaba,
Yeah.
Abuja and Asaba just switched.
Yeah, and the fact that the supervising flight attendant actually said that they were in Abuja.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a really
some heads should
it's a
roll.
big
Some
issue.
there's some people that should be held accountable.
Yeah.
That is. I mean, okay, so what? Someone could just hijack. They could just. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
That plane was literally hijacked.
Well, you could call it that.
I mean, what if there was something waiting
it was
for
redirected.
them there? What if somebody something was? No, the excuse is that the pilot got a flight plan to Asaba instead of Abuja.
So whoever sent that flight plan.
You understand? Exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean, what if something was waiting there for people to pick them up or something? It's
Yeah.
it's a big issue.
Major
It's a
issue.
big issue.
I was even thinking about people that probably had connecting flights, connecting journeys, events they were going to. Those were,
In Nigeria now, if you're going to fly,
Yeah.
you should be wise enough not to not to make them too close to each other.
it was actually
Because people
really quite
people have-
upsetting. I know someone that was at the airport from 10 a.m.
And they left by evening.
The flight was delayed till 1 p.m. And at 1 p.m. they said it was delayed till 6.
Yeah, it
The
does happen.
person got to Abuja from Lagos after midnight.
Think about it. So if you're going for a meeting and it was that same day,
Yeah.
you're taking a
Gone.
big risk.
Gone.
Some people, in fact, there was a particular person that the first flight was pushed back to the last flight.
Yeah. Let's move on to other papers now. We have the Guardian newspaper with us as well. COP28 summit. Again, Nigeria, others negotiate right to just transition. Now, there's a big infographic on the cover there on carbon emissions per capita by country. Now, in terms of carbon emissions, the countries that are emitting the most, as you can see from the colors there, maybe you might not be able to see it, the US is right there, is large in aqua blue on the cover of The Guardian there. China seems to have a very large percentage there. India as well. There are not as many African countries emitting as much carbon, according to this infographic. So it's something interesting for you to look at when you get the chance. It also says here, fulfill your stance on federalism, Afenifere tells Tinubu. 14% Nigerian women experience physical violence, it says here, page 4. Yeah.
That stat might probably be higher than what it is because I personally, I mean, one word that everybody might know somebody or know somebody that is involved in this. Now, there was a particular stat in Lagos State about how over 200, almost 300 men are also victims of domestic violence. So we're talking about both genders. And this is because there are some cases that I know about that are just close to me now. And it is how it has become so much of a norm that it happens consistently. And even the family of the abused would tell them, go back to it. It's a normal thing now.
It's sad. Very sad.
No,
Yeah.
it is not.
It's actually quite alarming.
Time will not permit me to start going into that. So let's just
the numbers and, of course, more details are inside the Guardian newspaper. That particular story is one you can follow up on page 4. It says here, more teaching hospitals risk shutdown over exodus of medical professionals. Now, this one was quite alarming to me because there is supposed to be a particular ratio of people to doctors in any given state, and we were already way below standard well, I'm talking about in Lagos now. We were way below before the exodus started. But what are the things that are being put in place to mitigate this getting worse?
There's no nice way to put it. It is bleak. It is bad. It is terrible. There is no light at the end of the tunnel at the way it is going. There has to be a state of emergency, something drastic
done to make sure that can be sorted out. But hopefully those who are in charge can make something happen soon. We have to move over to the Daily Trust newspaper at this point. It says here, 2024 fiscal year, security gets lion's share as Tinubu presents 27.5 trillion naira budget. Recurrent takes 18.51 trillion, capital 8.7 trillion. President wants proposals passed in 1 month. And on the 87 trillion debt worrying, reduce it, says, debt worrying, reduce it, Akpabio says here. It says, under the masthead International Day of Solidarity with Palestinians, UN reiterates two-state solution. Abuja flight diversion to Al Sabah, controversy as dispatchers, controllers disagree, yet again being mentioned here. And it also says here, bandits kill 18 hunters in Taraba State. Once again, the mention of the Naira note, old and new, remain legal tender according to Supreme Court here. And finally, it says here, 25 killed, 15 injured in Kwara Road crash, right at the bottom of the Daily Trust newspaper. And that's all we have time for when it comes to the headlines in the dailies for this morning. Check out a few papers yourself and use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC with your comments and contributions. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more. All right, so it is Thursday. Maybe we should start making plans for the weekend, should we? Yes. Yes, and to plan for this weekend, you have to book ahead for people like who we have on the show today. We have T-Boy Gele in the building. Welcome.
Good morning, man.
All right, so you're one of the busiest people on the planet right now, especially every Saturday, am I right?
Yes, man.
Like, how many places do you go to on any given Saturday to tie Gele?
Sometimes depends. You can go for like 5 places sometimes because of the traffic, and you have to meet up your clients.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
5 Gele a weekend.
A week, sometime 3.
Wow.
It depends.
So you must know exactly what you're doing. I know that T-Boy Gele has some really amazing auto Gele that he's created, and we'll be talking about this a bit later on. But this is something that I am so pleased was created because I don't know how to tie Gele. In fact, it was my husband that tied Gele for my kids on October 1st. Yeah, and he did a lot better than I could. But thankfully, because of people like you, we have solutions like that. But I want to see you tie a simple Gele. Can you teach me how to tie one?
No problem, ma'am.
All right, we have a beautiful model here. She's ready. Please start tying. And while you're tying it, just explain to us exactly what you're doing.
Okay, fine. This is a ashoke. I have 3 layers here.
Okay.
So the length of the ashoke from here to here is 19. I have to do what they call, I'll do like one hand short, the other one long. I'm tying fangele.
Okay.
So that will be faster, yeah. I'll pick like 5 pleats.
Okay,
Pick
5
like
pleats.
this. Yes, ma'am.
So you pleat it 5 times?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That was an interesting, very sharp pleating there.
You want me to hold the
one
short
hand short, one hand long.
Long, yes, ma'am. Continue printing the other side.
Okay.
See the same process here. Okay.
So that was so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can actually see the pleats. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need hairpins for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
and this one that you're calling me mama, I beg, don't spoil my fangelo. Don't spoil her.
Sorry.
This TV.
Okay,
all right.
So you push the gele backward. The short one you have to be up, while the long one will be down.
All right. Short one stays up.
Yes, ma'am.
The other one goes down. Hope we can see this. Can we see what he's doing?
Okay.
All right. So we can see what he's doing.
Let me hold the side.
All right.
So she have to let me hold the other side too.
So she's holding the short one at the back.
Yes, ma'am.
And the long one.
Yes, ma'am.
While he adjusts the front.
Okay. So look at the long one.
Yeah.
So I'm tying fangele, split here.
All right.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see. We can
so
see.
you continue picking the pleats.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. So you know I said earlier, I'm using 3 layers, right?
Yeah.
So now what you will do is that you pick 1.5, you remain 1.5. Depend of if you want the fan to be moderate, if you want the fan to be big. So me, I want the fan to be moderate. That's why I pick 1.5, left 1.5. So if I want the fan to be big, I'll pick just 1 layer, I'll remain 2 layers.
Okay.
So you continue picking the pleats. See the same thing here.
Okay. You just keep pleating.
Yes, ma'am. So you slant.
All right, let's see if we can get that. Okay. So it's sort of slanted. The pleats are all still in there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's the beginning of the fan.
Yes, ma'am. You continue tracing the pleats. You slant again.
Okay. So this is not straight. She's still holding the shorter part of the
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You see the same thing here.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes, we can.
Okay, continue tracing the pleats.
I'm really learning something here. Oh, wow. Okay, so because it's slanted, it's created a fan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep going, keep
See
going.
the same thing.
Wow. Just keep going. Wow. The fan is already coming out.
So this is a
see it.
pin, office pin. Use office pin to hold the fan.
So when you're putting in the pin,
You have to slant the pin too,
Okay.
so that you have to be careful.
slant the pin directly into the fabric.
Yes, ma'am.
And these pins, they hold. You don't have to be worried that it's going to come out.
No. The
All
pin
right.
will not show.
All right.
See the same thing.
So what's next? What do we do next?
You see continuous slanting.
So you pinned it after folding it 3 times?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you started folding again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
So see the same thing here.
I can see
Can you
the
see, ma'am?
fan. Yes, I can see it. The fan is coming out really,
Yes,
really
ma'am.
well. Next layer. Yeah?
See the
So
same
we're
thing.
almost there, right?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
almost there.
Yes, ma'am.
We are pushing it on time, but I can see where we're
I'm
going.
coming.
Let's see the finished product as quickly as we can.
Okay.
But I'm loving this. It's already looking great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah?
Jesus.
Beautiful. And are you feeling comfortable?
Yes.
No issues? Because
your
that
hand,
was
remove
one
your
thing I always
your
used
hand.
to cry about, the
Remove your
fact
hand.
that it was
Remove
uncomfortable.
your hand.
So she's still holding that side of
Yes,
the gilly
ma'am.
here.
Yes, ma'am.
She just released it.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens to that gilly at the side?
I'll go
there
and
now?
pin it from the back, the other one.
All right, so can you show us
Okay.
from here?
Okay, please can you hold this shot for me? Be
All right. She's
Careful.
holding it.
careful. Hold it. Just hold there.
Okay, got it? So this is how the back looks.
No, you come to the back here. You have
Yeah.
to arrange the back.
All right, sorry, just step to the side, just a little. Go ahead.
Here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you push to the inside.
All right. So the
Okay.
final tie, the final knot that will secure this all together, not beautifying it now, what will secure it that it will not fall down? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go
So
ahead.
now this back, you can cover the back or you open the back.
Okay.
So let me open the back like this.
Okay.
So you just have to arrange the back very well.
All right. And then you pin
You
it.
pin it, yes, ma'am.
Because I knew that there was no way you could tie it anymore because all the fabric is gone. There's no actual knot anymore.
Yes,
so what
ma'am.
about this excess fabric
Okay,
here?
you come to this side. This is
Okay.
the finishing part.
Okay.
So
All right.
you just twist the remaining part here.
Keep twisting, keep
You're
folding.
twisting like this.
Okay, that locks in
Yes, ma'am.
all the
Oh,
pleats.
yeah. You do, ma'am.
And now it's held at the back. Are we pinning this?
Yes, ma'am. I'll come to the other side. I'll pin it.
All right. So let me turn her around now. I know you're trying to beautify it. I just want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
see the final lock in place.
Okay, ma'am.
Pinning.
Yes, ma'am.
And then
You pin.
we would have shown you how to tie a fan gilly
Yes, ma'am.
in about 5 minutes. That looks
Move
so
your-
neat and tidy.
Move your hand. Move your hand.
I can actually understand how you do 5 or more of these in a weekend or on a Saturday. In one day, you can do like 5 of these.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, what's the biggest job you've ever had to do in one day?
Biggest shop. If I can remember, I like 7.
7.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe
You have
like a whole bridal train or something.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Because you have to work with time, and some people will be waiting for you. You know, Lagos traffic will not make you carry much.
So how much per gilly now? What's the standing rate? What's the rate? Let's know. Yeah?
Hey, I don't need to say
Are you
like.
sure? No, what's the going rate? There's your own rate and then there's a standard rate. What's the rate?
Oh,
Are you shy?
I don't know how to say. Depends, yeah, depends. There are some people that can pay much. There are some people that cannot pay much. So
Okay.
it depends on the location.
Okay, on the location.
yeah.
So I guess the distance you have to travel to get there,
Yes, ma'am.
transport enters.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, of course, if you are the one bringing accessories for the gele, that
Yes, ma'am.
adds to it.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you're not telling us your price? You're not
I
telling your
actually
price?
don't want to say something.
All right, no, Wahala. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. Please step to the side because I must. T-boy gele has to tie my own gele too. I don't know.
Okay, this ought to get it, right?
I can't carry last on this matter.
Okay.
So first thing I need to do, I guess, is pack my hair, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want me to pack this my hair?
I
Can't I tie it on top?
I can pack it for you. I can move the wood
can
back.
move it like this?
Can I move it a little bit?
I'm not removing my hair. I'm not removing my hair. I can just
Okay,
pack my
Let me
hair.
help you.
Don't worry, I got it.
Okay.
Go ahead. So this is one of your auto gele.
Yes, ma'am.
You manufacture these,
Yes, ma'am.
and you've been selling them for how long now?
For a while.
When you say a while, how many months, how many years?
Like years.
Years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, look at this. All right, so I love this invention.
Sorry.
I know that it's been around for about, well, let's say 5 to 10 years now, the auto gele craze.
Yes, ma'am.
But these ultra stylish ones are extra special. So how long does it take for you to put something like this together?
Just like, it's not up to like, to tie, right? Is it to tie?
Okay. So at the back there, I'm not feeling any discomfort, thankfully.
Pin.
Do you still need pins for this one?
I just covered the back.
Wow.
So sorry.
Okay. I'm liking this. Okay. So I know that people are wondering what the back looks like on something like this. Tell me, how do we preserve the shape of this auto gele? Because I think that was something that I had to figure out for myself at home.
You know, some people doesn't know how to wear auto gele. Sometimes you make a video for them to arrange this shape. You know, like people that does not based in Nigeria.
All right.
So now by the time
please
you
let
shape,
me, I want to show the back of this auto gele now. How does it look? Does it look good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, nice, neat, and tidy. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. I just got my gele tied by T-Boy Gele. Thank you so much for coming to show us how to put this together. Now, you should check him out on social media so that you can see some of the beautiful gele styles he has there. Preparing for an Owambe this weekend, maybe we've inspired you to actually go and get an auto gele. You never know, you never know. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man.
All right, we're taking a quick break right now, but there's still so much more on Wake Up Nigeria. All right, you're probably wondering, what sort of combination is this? Well, if you missed the first hour, you missed something extra special. We had T-Boy Gele come show us how to put on his special auto gele, and I don't feel like taking it off yet, and I can do that because it's Marshall. Yeah. Mazino's in the kitchen. He's working. I'm putting on my gele for Owambe. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Mazino looking bewildered there.
No, you have no idea. This is the first time I've ever had to work this much. Have I been working? Don't tell.
You're a good sous chef.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. Live. But we're doing so much. We're having so much done here. We're getting the smoothie ready. Our wrap is ready with the sauce and everything else in there. So we're pretty hard at work. Well, she's working. I'm just...
Yeah, no wahala. So I'm still going to come back to you, Mazino, in just a bit. But we have to tell everyone what's still to come on the show. We have to celebrate you and your loved ones on your special days. Maybe this gele might be one for your special day too. We have loads of birthday shout-outs coming your way very, very soon. Yeah. We also have musical performance coming your way. We have rapper, singer, and producer. He is an artist who makes conscious music. Tells Ikima is going to be in the building. He's going to be talking to us a little bit about his experiences as he does in his music. So, Mazino has been in the kitchen with the chef, and they've been putting together something interesting. You want to tell us a little bit more about what's going on then?
Just a little bit, and I'll let Chef Vina do that for us. Chef, I noticed that we've wrapped our sauce inside of the...
Tortilla wraps.
Tortilla wraps.
Yeah.
We still have our protein out here, but we have fried some... Is it fried or stirred? What do you call that? Exactly. This is what it looks like. Pan-stirred.
Yeah, chicken sausage, bacons, and a bit of tomatoes.
And we have prepared here what now?
The base, or the, would I call that? Yeah, I would just call that the base of the pancake.
So we're hard at work. Everything's coming together very nicely. It is going to be fantastic. I promise you that. You guys should stick around. At the start of the show, yet again, let's do the weather before everything else for this next hour. You're welcome once again. You're welcome. That was a beautiful performance by Tells Ikimi there. I actually liked it. And now for our art segment, we've got somebody very special here. Obikoya Olakayode Emmanuel is a practicing studio artist and also multimedia sculptor. He's been able to combine various materials together to, give us a special kind of expression, whether it's wood, whether it's anything else. You're in the studio with us, and you're welcome. Good to have you here, sir.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning, fantastic. So we're surrounded by your art pieces, and of course we're going to be showing a couple more on screen. But first off, can you explain to us in one sentence what kind of an artist you are, if you were to be asked that question?
I'm actually a sculptor, and too, I enjoy my art because it's actually part of me. Because right from time, I always dreamt to be an artist. Because while we were growing up, I had my cousins till date, which are medical doctors, lawyers. But while I was in art class, some person said, "Why don't you do law? Everybody can do law." Because it's not, it's not my thing. Because I don't, it's not like maths, everybody writes, everybody gets the same answer.
Yeah, that's
Art
true.
is actually, you express yourself. So right from time, I love expressing myself in the way and manner I feel. But that does not mean I have to be rude.
Fantastic. Now, that's very interesting. What you said at the start, you enjoy your own art. And I think it's an infectious thing. When you enjoy what you do, you can infect other people with that kind of emotion or that happiness, whatever it is that you're trying to push across. So let's start with what we have here in the studio with us. We have these very beautiful pieces. And earlier, I actually had tried to lift one of these up, and I thought that it was quite heavy, but you thought it wasn't. But I can imagine you starting out this piece from a block of wood, whatever kind of wood it was. What is this?
Ebony.
Ebony. Ebony wood. I'm asking, do you know where you're going from when you pick up that carver's knife and that piece of wood? Do you know where you're going?
It actually starts from the mind, the subconscious to the conscious. Because more often than not, it's like you tapping from the realm which you are not seeing. Because first, after having gone through a lot of meditations, you have to draw.
Draw.
Because you can't do art, you can't do it without the drawing. So when you draw, from your drawings, you do your marquee, because what we call marquette is a smaller type. But when you draw, it actually gives you a guide of what you actually intend doing.
Where you're going.
So because you can't do the art, and you actually want to excel in the art, you have to draw, and you have to constantly make your research. It's not just, there's a difference between a professional artist and a craftsman, because there's a far worlds apart of them. A craftsman is just, it learns the art from the street, on the street. It does not really have, because art, there are terms, technologies, and processes you use. And when you do your art, you don't, a craftsman will produce one in 100 pieces. You produce one, you think about the next one.
Exactly.
A totally different thing.
Keep that one unique.
Yes.
Preserve its uniqueness. Let's talk about what we have in front of us here. It might look rather abstract, but I'm sure that it has definition for you.
That's infinity.
What is it?
Infinity.
I thought something like that when I saw it for the first time because of the way it kind of like
Yes, of course.
winds around itself.
And the void in between.
The void in between, that space there.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. So that's infinity. The one I like best is the one, it looks different from the others. It's right in front of us. It looks like a humanoid figure that's
yes.
in the fetal position. Am I correct?
Yes.
Looks like he's holding something. What is that exactly?
He's actually lost in thought. He's actually deep in thought.
That's a person who's
He's a person
deep in thought.
Deep in thought.
Okay, very interesting. And that wood looks very different from the rest.
That's actually an ebony, but it's a brown one. That's a black one.
Oh, okay, the brown ebony,
Yes.
these are the dark ebony.
Yes.
And right next to you, something that looks quite like this again.
Okay,
What's the
like-
theme for that one?
This one actually, the more you look, what I actually intended was like a male and female couple which entangled.
Oh.
Entangled because it's like the human race and the human beings are being lost and mixed up. Because the more you look, you find out that like there's a head here, there,
Oh, okay.
and the movement, the spiral movement. And
It's very fluid.
yes, of
Let
course.
me mention, by the way. Very, very interesting.
Because-
What do your art pieces go for? How much do you sell them for, may I
Art
ask?
does not have a definite price.
Invaluable,
Yes.
I guess.
And more often than not, when you go to an exhibition, it's actually because first and foremost, you can't compare your works with that of the old masters. People like Beno Wanwu, Kalado Shinawa, and because they've paid their dues and they've gone through decades, like 5 to 6. So you don't expect yours to be like them.
Match up to theirs.
So it's actually a phase and it's a process.
Which you will also get to, yes?
Yes, of course. It's actually consistent. You have to constantly work. You don't just, because art, when the moment you leave art, there's a gap, there's a vacuum, because it leaves you. So it's all about consistency.
Consistency, okay. Now, the other three we have in the space here on our set, what are they? This is definitely feminine.
Yeah, there's a female acrobatic dancer.
A female acrobatic I can see the pose now. Now I get it. She's, oh, now I see it. A little bit of definition always helps because when someone sees or views your art, they come up with their own definition, and
Art is
yours
actually-
adds and builds on that.
More often than not, because their art is actually different. What actually prompted me, and art is like a therapy, because it's actually good for the soul. Even those in the medical field and the rest, at times when you are bored, they advise you take a walk.
Yes.
Even the artists, at times when you are bored, you go to a gallery. At times you leave your space, you lose your spirit, you go out, see friends, and go out and see what's happening. Because first, you don't go in isolation.
Yeah.
You have to be in tune with your environment and a lot of things. Because
Fantastic. The horn there.
that is because it actually turns, but that's an African tune, a medicine, an African tune,
Okay.
a horn blower.
A horn blower. So I'm figuring that that's the head on that
That's
side
the
and
head,
that's
yes.
the instrument on the other. And then all the way to the other end reminds me of
distant-
something from the Edo. Where are you from?
I actually grew up, I'm from Ogun State,
Ogun State,
Ijebu,
okay.
precisely, but I have a lot of influence from the Niger Delta, Benin.
Yeah, that
particular,
looks very Niger Delta.
Because more often than not, because I actually grew up there.
Oh.
Not just schooling there, I actually grew up there, because first, before now, when I was much younger, every holiday I went with my aunt
Okay.
to Benin, and
Okay.
in the demise of my grandmom, so I had to relocate down to Benin 89. So started all over. And funny enough, my aunt's husband was a painter,
Oh,
graduated
nice.
from UNN. So the influence, were three of us which were actually doing the art then. But funny enough, I was the only one that picked it up. The other two are medical doctors.
Wow, interesting. I can see that influence, that Benin influence in that one, and it's very beautiful. Are you coming up with an exhibition anytime soon where we can see all of your work in
I'm
one place?
actually planning, by God's grace, if I'm not doing a solo, maybe a two-man show
Okay.
and all those things.
Do you think it's going to be, well, anytime soon, the end
By
of the year?
God's
or
grace,
perhaps-
this year is already gone.
It's already gone, actually, quite
It's
frankly.
already gone, because first and foremost, I have to talk with, because first, before any gallery agrees to do anything with you, they have to see your quality of your works, and your works have to be good enough so that they can actually market, not just doing an ad hoc.
Well, I can tell you
Because-
something. Your work are absolutely fantastic. Taking a look at them alone, I can imagine
you.
what
Thank you.
else you have in store
Yes, of
and
course.
how beautiful that they would be. I wish I could take one of these home, especially the one with the Benin influence, but you're not going to let me because I can't afford it. It was great to have had you here on the show.
problem.
They're
Thank you.
very fantastic art pieces here, and we're looking forward to that exhibition whenever it is.
problem.
Do let us know, please.
No problem.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And thank you for sticking around. We still got more. One final guest, and of course, we're going to give you the reveal for our breakfast, which we've been preparing seriously all morning. Stay tuned. We'll be back on Wake Up Nigeria.
Right, that was very picturesque, very cinematic there. And it's really interesting that the guest we have has a history in being one of the best producers for stage and theater. It's great to have him here. His name is Stanley Okeke. He's an actor, director, and filmmaker. Now, he has not just a bachelor's, but also a master's in theater arts, so he knows what he's doing. He got the quality to show it. Now, his journey has taken him 10 years to get to where he is right now, and there's a project he's working on. It's great to have you here.
Good to be here as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, I can already hear your voice. You're projecting. I can hear it.
Actually,
All right, so you act, you direct, and of course, produce theater productions.
yes, actually.
All right, so a lot of people feel like theater is like a dying art. When you hear this, what does this say to you?
Actually, the theater market is a growing market in Nigeria,
okay.
and it's had quite a lot of engagement in recent time, and quite a lot of people are actually moving to theater now because. Yes, film is still there,
Yeah.
as big as it can get,
Yeah.
but people look out for the dynamics, and theater is live. Theater is, you connect more with actors you can see, not from the eye of the camera, but live on stage. So theater is not a dying art, it's growing. It's bigger than you can ever imagine.
So the audience connects with the characters they can see.
Directly.
But the characters, do they connect with the audiences?
course,
Do they
of
respond
course.
to the audiences?
Yes, of course. When you're there on stage, you're performing to a live audience. You could see, you could feel their reaction. When you tell a joke, if it sells, you see it almost immediately. If you have those emotional scenes where they get to cry, you see everybody looking all gloomy or melancholy, getting to feel those emotions directly. So trust me, the actor always feed on the audience's reactions as well. So as just as they feed from the actor's reaction, basically.
Well, let us know how you got into this. Now, I know you studied it in school,
Yeah.
and you're working with, essentially what you studied. But How or when did you know that this was what you wanted to do?
You want to hear a story?
Go ahead.
Let's take it back to the beginning. All right, this started a couple of years back, about 10 years or more. I was in secondary school. Actually, I was going to do visual art.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be a very good artist, a painter, and I really wanted to explore in that line. And then I met a few friends, and they said they were going for one audition somewhere in secondary school. I said, okay, dramatics club. I said, dramatics club? I mean, I don't act, I don't sing, I don't even know how to do all of that. But anyway, let's just go, it might be fun. And then I followed them, and I was seated right there, watching the people going in for audition. Unfortunately for me, or rather, fortunately, I was sitting right in line of those who were going in for the audition, but I didn't know.
Wow.
You know those kind of classes that are very big, and then you have to walk all the way, and they said next. I said, okay, just go do something. And then I went right up there. There used to be this very fatal accident that happened right here in Nigeria then. So the panel just said, oh, you, imagine your parents is, or your mom is in that accident. How would you react? Boom, audition.
Wow.
And I was right there, handicapped. I didn't know what to do. I started laughing.
You started laughing?
I started laughing. I laughed, and the whole class joined me.
Wow.
And then I stopped abruptly and said, is it funny? Are you guys laughing at my pain? Seemed like one of the most creative things that ever happened that day. Everybody go, yo, good acting! I wasn't even sure what I did, but it made sense at the time. And then I said, okay, how about I look into this right now?
Wow.
And then I started doing stand-up comedy shows in school. I did MCs right there in secondary school.
Wow.
You know, VS and all of that. And then the line started. My dad said, no acting. No acting.
Wait. Is that how your dad sounds?
Yeah, no, my dad, no, come on, my dad is a very typical Igbo man. He said, what? Theater? For real? And then it was time for career day in school, and then they gave me that paper, and they said, go home, give it to your dad to sign it and bring it back to school. He said he wasn't going to sign it.
Wow.
And then he came to school, met one of my teacher then, Mr. Akinlaja, said, this your son is very good. He's been very good here in school, and why would you say no to theater? And he felt like, and then he said, okay, no problem. Boom, you do what you got to do. And then I joined Lagos State School Theatrical Troupe then, among secondary schools, public secondary schools in Lagos then. And then this happened.
Honestly, and even from the way you sound, even telling your own story feels like a performance in itself.
I mean.
But now directing performers, you know how you perform. You've already got your own persona. You've created a character for yourself, right? Like right now here on our set. But directing someone to act is a lot more work. It's very different. Now for this show that's coming up on the 2nd, I believe?
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd, 9 and 10. Waterside.
Waterside. How were you able to direct this?
No, on Waterside, I'm an actor. Okay, it's a 2-month performance. Myself and Moshood Fatah, a phenomenal actor.
Amazing.
The director is Joshua Alabi.
Okay.
He's the founder of Kininso Concepts, which is the company producing this. He's the director, the creative director.
Yeah.
And when he got me on the show and said, oh, you and Moshood Fatah will be on this show, 2-man actor. Let's see how it goes.
So it's a 2-man show.
Yes, a 2-man show.
But how many characters are you playing?
About 15 characters. 2 men.
2 men.
2 performers. Yes.
2 performers, 15 characters.
Yes. I'm sure you saw the clip right now.
Yeah,
That's
I'm seeing it.
Just the both of us and 15 different characters here in Lagos.
Wow. So you're going to be at the Muzon Center. You're going to be on stage
Yes,
there.
Muzon Center, 2nd and 3rd.
But how does that work? How do you change? Okay, can you give us a sample? Like a monologue that switches into another character.
A monologue that switches. Hi, what's up? How you doing? I'm fine. I'm good. How you doing today? I don't think I can do this right now. Please don't talk to me. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Take a while.
That was just 2.
Yeah, that's just 2. And imagine getting to play 15 of that. And the funny thing here is that it's not the regular story. It's a story about the Niger Delta people. I'm not from Niger Delta. I had to do quite a lot of research.
Wow.
Yeah, from the focal point of 2 boys, talking about the concept of totemism, ritual, taboos, and quite a lot. It's going to be very engaging. It's funny and it's very, very emotional. Very emotional. Yeah, imagine getting to play father and then mother and then just a Tyler Perry kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you get to switch almost. That's the dynamics of the show, of the play.
A 2-man show feels like, logistically speaking, it's definitely a little more affordable than obviously if you had a 20, 30-man show.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
But you're playing this for how many months now?
For two weekends. Two weekends. That's Saturday and Sunday.
But you prepared for how long now?
Oh, for how long? It's been about a month plus, almost 2 months right now.
How's rehearsing going? Like how many times a week do you rehearse?
Rehearsal is every day.
Every day.
It's a job. It's a full-time job.
Wow.
Yeah, we get to rehearse every day and then prepare. I must say that The experience has been very easy. The experience has been very easy with the creative input of the director. Definitely, I must give kudos to the director and then the entire creative team on this project. Joshua Labi wrote and directed this story. This was his brainchild, or rather, this has always been his brainchild. This is his experience right from being a child and then growing up, and then he had to put this right there on paper. And yeah, we are two actors, Moshood Fatah and I
can see even the images we're seeing here. You had to produce this clip to sort of promote
the show.
To promote the theater show.
Yes.
And then there's a masquerade somewhere at the back there. It does give you a little insight into where you're going with this story.
Definitely.
There is that grass to grace thing mindset. That
the grass to grace. How did you see that? You must be a very creative person.
Wow.
Of course, that's why you're here. Yes, grass to grace. These are two boys who actually grew up right there, and then and we went all out there for greener pasture and
greener pastures.
Rather, greener pastures, my bad. And then they see all of that. And then, not to sell the entire story here.
Don't worry. You're not going to let all the cats out of the bag, but we know that people are, based on everything you've said and how passionately you've already said it, I know people are going to look out for it. Waterside at Muzon is coming up this weekend.
2nd and 3rd,
so
9 and 10.
if you are a fan of theater, that might be something you should check out. Now, I'm a fan of food. Are you a fan of food?
Yeah, eat a lot.
You eat a lot?
I eat a whole lot. You don't want to try me.
Now, our chef has made something Mexican today.
Mexican?
I think it's called quesadilla. I think it's called a quesadilla. We will be going into the kitchen right now to find out the finished product. Okay, so this looks like an amazing breakfast. What's Mike doing over
I want to
there?
say that whatever he's doing is just for show.
One more time.
This is Oga, wait. This is how the professionals. He's flipped the cold side. This is how Friday games.
Good?
Of course it does. I put it together.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking.
Shavina here has put together this for you. Very, very beautiful meal. First off, she has just come up first runner-up for the reality show. What's it called again?
Jara Edition Ninja Chef.
So you can imagine first runner-up here just for you, putting this together.
Can you see how beautiful this looks? I almost don't want to touch it. It looks so good.
Vina, please tell us what we've put together.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a display of English breakfast. So we have the banana pancakes here. We just added a bit of touch with it, and that was the peanut butter, like I mentioned earlier. We have the chicken sausage. We have vegetables, which is tomatoes. We have bacon.
Oh, there's bacon there.
I almost don't want to give you this food.
I don't want. I don't know why you passed it over.
I almost don't want to.
And this is the star of the day. This is quesadilla. Yeah.
Where do I start from?
So the quesadilla is the Mexican aspect of this dish.
Yeah.
Now this is a strawberry.
Strawberry,
smoothie. It's got everything.
apple, yogurt. Yeah, it's
Beautiful. Go ahead.
About
Please have a taste. Quickly.
I'm so jealous.
I just have a little bit of this because
Please have very little, I beg.
take it home.
Boss,
No, don't take it home.
if you don't eat this food now, collect it too.
Okay, let me start from my lover of
All right.
Oh, yes.
this one here.
All right. Starting from there.
Guys, you don't want to know.
You know what?
You don't want to know, guys.
Exactly.
You know to do that to chop now.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody go home right now.
All right. So let's wrap it because he's just tempting and tantalizing.
You
us
can
here.
go ahead. You can keep
Go
eating.
ahead.
It's all right.
Eat.
It's okay.
All right. We have to wrap it up now. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we will be back.
Friday edition. It's going to be fantastic, you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Bye.